What's going on, you guys? James here with another real breakdown, and today we're going to get into the Dune trailer that just premiered today. It was fantastic. My reaction is actually at the top of the screen if you haven't seen it already, but we're not going to talk novel spoilers. I haven't read the book at all, so I'm excited to get into this for the very first time, go frame by frame, and then talk about whether or not this movie will flop. So I'm super pumped to get into that, guys, but before we do that, if it's your first time here at the channel, welcome to Real James, where I talk about movies and TV just like this. So if you like everything you're hearing and seeing, go ahead and smash that big red button below, subscribe to the channel, and tap on the bell so you don't miss out on anything new. Like this video, and go ahead and get loud in the comments below, and let me know which moment from the trailer actually made you the most excited, or if you didn't like the trailer, what didn't you like about it? If you didn't like the trailer, we gotta have a talk. Alrighty guys, so let's get right into it. Now before we get into the trailer, there are some facts that I think you need to know if you don't know them already about Dune. This is Denis Villeneuve's 10th feature-length film. He's a director who's pretty much taken on this sci-fi genre and is amazing at what he does. Now his filmography is definitely diverse from Sicario all the way to Blade Runner 2049, but as of late he has been really commandeering this sci-fi genre and bringing it to us on a huge scale. As for the movie itself, Dune is based on a science fiction novel by author Frank Herbert from 1965. That thing is old. But after talking to a friend who actually read the novel, I actually don't know if he's finished with it or not, he told me that this thing has its own glossary of terms. The world building I heard is fantastic. It's an incredibly long novel, so I might not even be able to read it by December, but that's okay because I'm really curious to see if this kind of stays true to the novel or not. However, guys, this is not the first time Dune has been adapted for a movie or for TV. You have probably the most well-known adaptation for film by director David Lynch, who's fantastic, I love him, but his 1984 movie was very up and down for many fans of the novel. And then you have the 3-part miniseries in 2000. Then you have Children of Dune, another miniseries in 2003. Lots of miniseries, my goodness. And then there's a documentary based on the failed and very ambitious film by Jodorowsky, literally called Jodorowsky's Dune. That's the name of the documentary, but this was back in 2013 and was pretty well received on Metacritic. So I don't know, it just seems like they might have not gotten it right for a mainstream audience, but for fans, they've been feasting on some Dune content. However, Denis, I think, is going to bring this full force because of the cast itself. I mean, Zendaya, Timothée Chalamet, you even have Jason Momoa, you have Bautista in this film. There are so many amazing actors, even the lovely Rebecca Ferguson, that are going to really put this film over the top and get a lot of fans of these actors involved in this science fiction tale. That's what's so exciting for me. And then when it comes down to Dune's budget, my goodness, this is reportedly a $175 million budget that Warner Brothers said, Denis, you got the keys, go ahead and do whatever you want to do. Of course, they trusted him with Blade Runner 2049, which, we'll get into it, of course, was a high-grossing film for him. However, it wasn't necessarily received well by a mainstream audience. They were a little confused, but for fans of sci-fi, they were in love, just like I was. And if you're a stats kind of guy or girl, yes, this is a budget that is higher than Blade Runner 2049. So, yeah, I'm a little excited. Now, Dune takes place on the fictional desert planet of Arrakis, and it is gorgeous. I mean, it is just fantastic to see the amount of landscape shots that were in the trailer, and according to the actors in the Q&A hosted by Stephen Colbert, they said that this was on-location shooting. Rebecca Ferguson said it was one of the most challenging shoots that she's ever had to be a part of, and I can imagine those costumes, while they look great, don't look too breathable in a desert. And of course, in every Denis Villeneuve film, the cinematography is amazing, and here really is no exception. Cinematographer Greg Fraser is joining Denis for this one, not Roger Deakins, which I was a little sad about, but that's okay because Greg looks like he is doing a fantastic job from the shots we saw in the trailer. He's also the cinematographer on Matt Reeves' The Batman, so this is a great kind of prelude to The Batman and what we're about to get in October. So yes, I am a huge fan of this cinematography, of the world building already in the trailer, and I can't wait to see the final product in December, hopefully. Alrighty, so now is the time to get right into the trailer, and we're gonna break down some of these amazing moments together. Who would have thought a 3-minute trailer would give me so much joy? Alright, let's get into it. Alrighty, so we're gonna go and just play it from the beginning. I mean, I can't play the audio, but the score here by Hans Zimmer is going to be a force. It's going to be so amazing in IMAX. Right here, I mean, this is just the example of what I was saying with the cinematography. They shot on location, so everything looks so much more real. But look at the colors. The color palette here is so beautiful. the orange hues. And then this moment shocked me. This, of course, is Zendaya and Timothée Chalamet. So Zendaya plays Shani. We don't know much about her, at least I don't. And then Timothée Chalamet is playing Paul Atreides, who is the son of this crazy family who's never really had a leader, according to the trailer and what they said in the trailer, and they're looking to mine this planet's very rare resource. So let's keep going here. Now, what's peculiar is that immediately my mind tells me that moment never happened. Maybe he has some affinity for Shani, and it's possible that was just a dream sequence. However, it's not the first time that a trailer has literally thrown us for a loop. So yes, I definitely think that that was a dream sequence. Maybe he doesn't necessarily see Shani for most of the movie and she's kind of a blur. I don't know, but it just seems so amazing. I mean, look at this setting. It looks almost as if he's sleeping in this throne room of sorts. So you can just tell his status is very affluent, and this is not good. You know, there's whatever that is in the sky there, but you see a destroyed town. There seems to be civil unrest. Those are the two words I keep coming back to. Civil unrest. Lots of destruction. This looks to be probably Rebecca Ferguson. I'm not too sure, but this is definitely Timothée Chalamet. And let's keep going with the trailer, y'all. This is a very interesting scene here. So, guys, there's this moment where he puts his hand in something. That was probably the same scene. We'll get back to it. And it just blew my mind. But immediately here, I don't know what we're looking at, but it's beautiful, right? This looks to be something in the clouds. And here is what I was just talking about. Oh, I got chills from this line. So there's this needle pointed at his neck. He seems to be held against his will in a certain sense. But yeah, dude, he puts his hand in this box and he starts shouting like he is in the worst pain of his life. And this seems to be kind of a rite of passage in a sense, right? That's the vibe I sort of got from this scene. Or he basically was being forced to hand over information. There doesn't seem to be a lot of very happy people on this planet. So again, we see more stuff in the sky. I mean, definitely CGI, of course, but it just looks absolutely stunning. I mean, all of the shots look great. At first, I thought these were pieces of paper, but they look to definitely be ships in the sky. We've seen this photo before. Now, this is very interesting because it seems to be that this is like a hologram sequence and Josh Brolin is real, right? That's what you would think. But then when they start fighting, both of them start to almost kind of blur out. So I immediately thought, okay, they can't both be holograms fighting, right? But maybe they activated a sort of shield so that they can train together. And of course, you know, they wouldn't inflict harm. However, Josh Brolin is not Paul Atreides' father. That belongs to Oscar Isaac's role. So I'm excited to see how they play about. But then you see this here. It looks like he was hit. That red looks like he was hurt. So maybe there is a way to still hurt your training partner or whatever's happening there. More beautiful landscape shots. Timothée Chalamet just looking amazing. I mean, he is just a great actor, man. I'm so glad he's going to get his due, and you better stop sleeping on our boy. Now, this here is interesting because this, of course, is the role of... Oh, Lord, let me check. Apparently, Leto is the son of Paul Atreides, not his father. I'm sorry. I'm learning just as much as you are about all this. So, this is just the world building I was talking about. They're going to have to explain all this. This movie is most likely going to be very close to 3 hours long. But it's just so cool to see Oscar Isaac in this role. So, let's keep going. You know, more amazing shots here. Rebecca Ferguson being Rebecca Ferguson. She's just so darn good in front of the camera. And then this seems to be like another faction, another group. They don't seem to be anyone that we recognize earlier in this trailer, so they might just be another group of people. They look to be women, of course. Oh man, and I don't understand how Leto, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, is the son of Paul, right? Because isn't Paul like looking so much younger here? I'm going back and forth between Wikipedia and this, and it just seems to blow my mind every time. Another amazing shot. This almost looks to be a converging of maybe different groups, and they're all coming together. Javier Bardem being freaking amazing. I mean, look at the costume design here. This is a shot we saw last week on Twitter. Some photos I think were leaked from the trailer, and I'll admit this is probably not the most believable shot. Of course, everything is very much in a sci-fi universe here with this film, but this to me doesn't necessarily look as good as the rest of the trailer. I didn't dig that part, but then you got Bautista. Oof, goodness gracious, Bautista, you're just, I mean, I know it's him because I know he's in the movie, but if I didn't, look at the makeup work, the prosthetics. Ugh, looks beautiful. I don't know who that is there, but this looks to be maybe in the middle of the film, I'd imagine, where there's lots of chaos and destruction. Becca Ferguson being great again. I mean, this is interesting here. Look at these suits. It looks so darn cool. I love that he looks to be gearing up for war. Timothée Chalamet is coming to get this material or defend this group or whatever. Jason Momoa as Duncan is just this amazing fighter. I mean, again, we see this hologram thing though. So this is a shield of sorts, right? There's no way it's not. You see that? That's definitely a shield. And Jason Momoa said, I don't care about your shield. So, so cool just to see all the fighting. Whenever something lights up red, of course, someone's hurt. So that means Timothée Chalamet must have gotten stabbed earlier in this trailer. I love Jason Momoa in this role again. And this mysterious figure, I wonder who this is, you know, in the story. She seems to be maybe trying to teach Timothée Chalamet a lesson again. Here we go, a similar shot to the beginning of the trailer. This is a very dreamy sort of sequence. Zendaya, of course, and I don't know, maybe Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya have this sort of romance in the film. That's what it's kind of alluding to. Yep, he sees Shani again, and I guess he doesn't think she's going to be fighting. This is going to be an amazing sequence of events on IMAX. I mean, oh my goodness. We get to a quick montage here at the end. That is interesting to me. So I noticed that Jason Momoa and Timothée Chalamet use the same gesture with their sword when they meet each other, almost as if they know each other or they fought alongside each other before, or maybe in the same group. But this seems to be a peace gesture almost. Now this is crazy. See, this sandworm thingy is insane. I'd imagine that this is not going to be a sandworm that you take down easily. This seems to be the biggest I guess antagonist in the film in a sense, or maybe it's a protagonist just defending the planet, because all these people are greedy, aren't they, trying to come and take this material. Oh man, look at, I mean, I just can't believe that Denis Villeneuve is pulling this off right now. Wow, it's just incredible. And of course we're getting closer now. Before we get to what I was about to say about the sandworm, this is interesting. So Duncan is now bowing to Paul Atreides, who is of course in a sense royalty. So I at least from what I understand, so it's almost like Paul is like, listen bro, I love you, man, don't even sweat it, bro, why are you bowing down to me? And everyone's putting their arm on him, so it's like they've recognized that he is going to lead them in this war or in this battle or fight for this material that could hopefully save the universe. That's just my mind going. This is the moment where I flipped out in my reaction, because I was maybe thinking they weren't going to show this sandworm, but look at this, you guys. Just an incredible shot. The sense of scale in this movie is unreal. I mean, look at that. I know it's CGI and I know it's some green screen probably, but listen here, guys. This is just incredible. You know, when we find out what Denis Villeneuve is shooting on, if it's 70mm or not, it doesn't matter, because look how great this is. Now, if it is 70mm, I will be so happy. IMAX cameras, the whole works, that'd be great. But you know, this movie's gonna look great regardless. And then we get the title card, just beautiful. And that is the end of the trailer, a nearly 3-minute trailer in terms of footage. Of course the credits take up some space, but my goodness, it's incredible. So if you haven't heard me say it already, this trailer is just absolutely excellent. It's perfect. It's everything you want in a trailer. Not too much was given away, not too little was shown. You get enough to enter you into the world and get so excited for the end product. At least that's how the trailer was received by me. So let's get into this topic that I had kind of touched on earlier in this video. Now, will Dune flop at the box office? That's the biggest question that's kind of swirling around many people's minds, especially mine, because I know that even though Blade Runner 2049 had a budget of something close to Dune's, it still made back a decent profit at the box office worldwide. It made $259,239,658. That's incredible, right? That is Denis Villeneuve's highest grossing film at the box office. And the only other film of his that broke the $200 million mark was Arrival with $203.3 million. And then you have Prisoners at $122.1 million. And every other film got close to those triple-digit millions, but not quite there. Now, I don't think that's a flop, because honestly, guys, Blade Runner 2049 was really pandering to a niche audience. This is not a movie that was really easily accessible by everybody. You had to be a lover of sci-fi to really fall in love with the world. Visuals are great, but the story can get you lost if you're not really used to this sort of storytelling. Now, when it comes to Dune, this is definitely a novel, from what people have told me, is incredibly complex. Not many people would understand what Dune really is, and a lot of people aren't interested in it outside of our main cast, but that's enough to get some moviegoers in their seats. Timothée Chalamet, Zendaya, Jason Momoa, shall I go on, Oscar Isaac, these actors really draw an audience by themselves. They could be in any project, and fans will go and watch their movies. So with all of that in mind, I really do think that Dune has a chance to exceed Blade Runner 2049's worldwide gross, because again, Tenet actually had a worldwide gross of 150 million. Domestically, it didn't do very well, clearly because the US is not handling the pandemic very well, but for it to exceed the $100 million mark worldwide, that's kind of encouraging, because by December, if this trailer sticks that December date, I say if, because it still says coming to theaters, coming soon, in theaters. It's not giving that definitive date, similar to what we've seen in Wonder Woman 1984, for example. So if it sticks that December date, and the pandemic is much better in the US and around the world, I can go ahead and confidently say that, yeah, I think it breaks Blade Runner 2049's total because of the cast. Here's the thing though, if the pandemic doesn't necessarily get better by December, not only will the movie not do as well as Blade Runner 2049, clearly, but I also think it might get delayed. So we have to really see what the rest of 2020 has in store. Do I think it flops? No. Now, do I think it has a chance to not make as much money as Warner Brothers originally projected it to make at the beginning of 2020? Absolutely, because of the surrounding circumstances. But I have a good feeling about Dune. I think it might actually beat out Blade Runner 2049 if the pandemic can hopefully be controlled, contained, and alleviated by December. So there you have it, guys. That's my trailer breakdown for Dune, some quick facts for you, and I'm just happy to talk about this movie now that we have much more to look forward to. Hey, if you liked everything you just heard and saw, again, go ahead and smash the big red button below, subscribe to the channel, tap on that bell, help us get even closer to 3,000 by hitting that like button, and get loud in the comments below and letting me know what you think about this trailer. What parts stood out to you the most? Let me know, because I'm telling you, Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya, man, I'm so here for it. Alrighty guys, well hey, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you at the next screening.